If this was my last song, what would I write about? Or would I be satisfied when I take my final bow? Did I sing everything that my heart could sing? Is there something I left out? If this was my last song, what would I write about?
What would I do for my last song before I grow old and my heart can't go on? What tune would I ring out before I start a fire with my bars that's impossible for them to put out? There's no trace of doubt that's improbable for them to keep me from changing the game and make me immortal with my words I'll shout out. That'll make people bow out of the ring like little Bow Wow bends over and takes it up his chute because he came out. Before I change into my best suit and to take my final breath when death feels it suits him to see me leave this reality, even if my demise at that point would be nothing more than a disguise hiding the real fatality. How would I phrase my thoughts before I die so that I can outdo every man, woman, and rap bot that's not already dead from my back catalog I got? How would I go about laying the track? Should I do digital or analog? And what about the beat? That won't be no easy feat, since it's got to be something more epic than Harold and Kumar trying to go to White Castle or escape Guantanamo. It needs to be a song that's like poetry from Shakespeare, that's gonna take the cake like a thief stealing from a bakery near his place. Plus it needs to be as lengthy as a Scorsese movie, but still able to get people tapping their feet after it melts their face. One that beats the future in a race, since it's more inventive than Mark Wahlberg and ahead of his time. Rhymes so slick that they're like trying to super glue an adhesive strip to an action figure of Flash in a Teflon pan, because man, even Velcro wouldn't stick to the iron skillet like lines I'll crack, because I never wanted to be a flash in the pan. That's paraphrase. That's why I want my words I write to be something I could sing out confidently, because my sentences will be so fluid you think they'd be two druids liquefied in a vat of acid, and I'll have more than just a pair of phrases to be rapping that I'll get to rapidly reciting about their defeat without skipping a feat or the beat, like a dude with two lubed up fists wrapped around his 2 foot long dicks after slapping on a rubber before jacking it to 2 pics of Tupac and Biggie's feet quick. Makes them stop and listen because their heart beats faster and starts fluttering a bit until they dial 911 to come and bring them to the state hospital, because my words I'll state like a boss who's irate to the point he's frothing at the mouth and covered in spittle. Not something lame that causes them to skip the beat when they hear it as it ran some for the first time in a random playlist on YouTube or Spotify. No, it wouldn't be a breeze. That's no lie. If I were to make my last song, it's definitely not going to be easy. Probably won't get it on the first try, even if it's expected of me, because the song needs to be something worthwhile, something that gets them through to the truth, so that they can understand as I cuss them out that I'm heralded as the epitome of the apex of rap, like the crest of a hip-hop mountain. That means I'm going to be seen as the best. That's why after me, it's all going downhill, and you can definitely tell that. Hell, that's why you're all testy and already pounding. Would you look at that? I've already begun creating my magnum opus, and you would, as you know it, it will be the most dangerous thing I've ever done, since it'll be like giving a ghost a Gatling gun with infinite rounds to be touting, so I can blast them to death from the afterlife if they ever get to doubting.